Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to ASL Coffee Friday Night News. So, what's new here? We're going to discuss transform deaf education. It's a very exciting topic. Serious crisis we're going through. Arlene is going to be our presenter tonight, and welcome. We're happy to have you here. Please, Arlene. Hello, everyone. So, just want to start off by letting you know I'm born and raised in the Bronx, New York. It's nice to be back east. I miss being in New York, really miss New York pizza. Come and visit us again. Come, you can come and visit us anytime. Wow, I think it's been about 20 years since the last time I visited, but thank you for that warm welcome. Yes, we love you. So tonight and Fridays ongoing. We'd like to start talking a little bit about this deaf education, transforming deaf education, so that you all can share your experience, what you see, what you're going through, what you've had to endure during this during times of really what we call deaf education crisis. So we're hosting this webinar coming up, and we're expecting to host a series of webinars. Next Saturday is the first of our webinars on November 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the topic that we're going to discuss is why, no, sorry, pick it up.
Nope.
What do you mean?
No.
Sorry. So we missed some of that. We're sorry. So for many years, yeah, deaf education has been struggling. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you my story. My father is deaf, and my family's deaf. They're from Puerto Rico. They moved here from Puerto Rico um, into the East Coast. And now at 44 years old, I find out some really interesting stories that I didn't know that my dad had to go through at St. Joseph's School for the Deaf in the Bronx. Yeah, when he moved from Puerto Rico, my deaf dad, he didn't have a school for the deaf school that he attended to. He came to New York. He spoke Spanish. He was fluent in Spanish and was placed in a mainstream program and was completely lost. Total language deprivation for a total of about 7 years. My father did eventually graduate from St. Joseph's School for the Deaf. Yeah. And my sisters and I graduated from Lexington School for the Deaf. Yeah. Yeah. I You got it, Steph?
So that was in the 1950s, and still now it's about to be 2023, and there's still an issue. Honestly, it's shocking how language deprivation is still a continuing problem till today, and it's a very serious issue. Language deprivation isn't just one issue, it's many. And it's not
I was very fortunate because I grew up with deaf parents at home. So at the deaf school, I had speech and oral education training. Um, but the recognition of bilingualism is important for all, and this is an issue that the access is needed for everyone, not only the deaf, the hard of hearing, the deaf blind. The And parents have to choose, and they have to have options, and they have to have opportunities, and more opportunities for their children to grow up and have the best education possible, because it's never a one size fits all. But we've been limited. We've been restricted from language deprivation to so many other services. And now it's time to discuss these issues. Yeah, to talk about especially the seriousness of language deprivation from the time young deaf babies are born. Doctors, when from the first time they do a hearing test, and they see, and parents find out that their children are born deaf, or that there's hearing loss. And wait a minute, yeah, a child, yeah, it's really based on the different types of, not so much hearing loss, they have different hearing levels. So we talk about diagnosis. How do we make a diagnosis? They're not sick. So it's really a struggle, because parents leave not really having a lot of information, with a lot of confusion. What's happening medically, and many doctors don't really know how to explain it. And it's really important to have deaf role models show up at the hospitals to give parents hope, right? And let them know how they can get through the system, to partner with them. To They need mentorship and support, especially deaf mentorship and training and support. This is so important for us from the very beginning, when a baby is born deaf, or so that they can, so parents can get the proper education that they need, from the very beginning. And the school programs from K through 12, oh, it's incredible what we see here. It's so many problems. Um, I You got it.
So it's not equal to the education that the hearing get. It's not accessible. So our learning process becomes a challenge because we grow up with that. And then eventually we have college prep programs that are for they're not for two languages. They're not bilingual. The context, it's usually about science and social studies, ELA, different concentrations that are an issue. So I have a master's in yeah, in education. Who's
To
host?
slow down. Yeah, we need Arlene to slow down a bit so we can catch up with her.
Yeah. You just turn on our camera.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that we don't have any of this information ahead of time. Okay, go ahead. Okay. No. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. Okay. Okay.
You got it or I got it? Me? Okay. Mm. So what's happening is that we're having issues with special ed, the schools for the deaf, um, which are struggling, or they're struggling to fill these educational positions, um, various. I'm not gonna.
If the test itself is a high school level, then it all goes back to the K to 12 education and where that came from. So we want to discuss why we're here. Hmm. We already done this. We've been doing it for a while. So where are the deaf educators? I have so many stories that I've posted on that I've seen on Facebook, so many stories. And we have to be aware that and use these opportunities to share our experiences. So, so many have asked, why did I choose the butterfly? When you see it in the beginning, that butterfly, because butterflies can't hear, and a lot of people see that as a negative. So it really identifies the different levels when we're working with people that have different hearing levels. The butterfly is like a personification of that. How we as a deaf community transform in- into this butterfly of themes. There's a lot of change. It's not just one thing. We still have a lot of work to do. So I want to let you know about the webinar we're going to have next week, Saturday, with Dr. Lorraine. Also, Ross Rosen, Dr. Ross Rosen, David Gesslin, and Dr. Julie Rem Samario. So they'll each speak for about 4 minutes. and they'll have extensive experience that they'll have to offer in relation to deaf education. So it will be in sign language, but we'll also offer English and Spanish spoken interpretation and closed caption, and it'll be for 2 hours. So we'll open up, um, have a panel discussion, and we'll talk about the plans that we have. And we also plan to have a group discussion. And we want to discuss our mission. What do we plan to do? Our action plan. So let parents know, because 98% of deaf children have hearing parents. So it's a big topic for them to know about. They don't, and a lot of them just don't know. So really, the bottom line is that deaf education is failing us. Yeah. Uh, the issue of language deprivation is really big, and we have to do something about it. We've seen enough. What we see in the public school system is not enough. And many of us, we can't give up. It'll just hurt our children more. We can't give up on deaf education. So I got a lot of encouragement to do it, to fight for this. It was a call for action and it's a challenge because we're really trying to figure out what to do, how to do this. So we don't know where to start. It's new for us. So we need deaf leaders and deaf educators. So we have over 2,000 people on Facebook that want to get involved. They want to know more about this. And many who are in the education field that want to move up, that want to get promoted, but they're stuck. They can't get anywhere. Only 15% are deaf educators. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. So we want to talk about this. We want to vent this. We want to share this. Because there seems to be something going on, and it's been going on for a long time. And we want to address these issues. And we noticed that once this movement that we started discussing, there's really a need for it. There's many people that are interested that want to connect with us. We set up a GoFundMe page to raise money to support Zoom, the interpreters, the platforms, the rallies, all those things. We also have to think about writing a bill, bring it up to a state level. We're hearing so many stories from Ohio, Iowa, Tennessee, Florida. They're coming from all over the nation. And we get it. We get it. We want to do something about it. We want to have representatives from each state. We want nationwide attention to this. on the national level. So I want to say thank you to the interpreters tonight, and also for the National Deaf Freedom Association, which is a 501c4 that's supporting us with this platform. So thank you so much. We have a big group. We're ready to go. We're ready to do this movement and do this transformation. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Lauren Sims. Lauren? Is Lauren Sims here? We're trying to find her. We can't find her. Did we find Lauren Sims? Oh, she's trying to get in. Okay, she got in. Okay. Was trying to get her camera on. Oh, sorry. It was hard to figure it out. Turn on the camera, navigate this. Hello, hello. Thank you, Arlene, for sharing your story. So first of all, my name is Dr. Lauren Sims. This is my sign name. So I'm a black woman, bald. I'm wearing something gray. And in the background, I have light, and I'm sitting in a black chair. So it's an honor to be asked to be a moderator for this upcoming, on November 12th for the upcoming event. I feel very honored, so thank you so much. And at the same time, I realize that it's really a challenge to take on the role of a moderator because I go through some emotional connections that I share with everyone here. Mm. So growing up, I've had my own oppressive experiences, a lot of similar experiences that we've shared, and many things that we had to bear as deaf people in education and navigating the educational field. Hmm. But many of us can be called to survivors, but it's not easy. Oh, it froze. So we're all on the same boat. We talk about the lack of sign language, autism, and there's so many concerns about it. Mm. So we would give that an F as a grade. Yeah, that's very sad. It's sad. So next week on November 12th, I'm looking forward to it. and the opportunity to share my stories and also learning about everyone's background. Everyone's in the panel. And this will be the first step into taking action, not just talk, but real action. And the topics we'll be discussing will be the things that get things pumped up and going and ready to go. And that's it. I'm excited. Well, so I have a question for you if you don't mind. Interpreter missed the question. Oh. Oh, what do you feel is the root of the problem? That was the question. So my answer to that was it all starts from birth. If they don't have language, a dominant language, things get lost. I see in my children, they sign from birth, they sign simple things like milk or I'm hungry or food. They try to sign. It doesn't matter if the parents are hearing, they still try to sign to the babies. They'll pick up vocabulary 2 or 3 times faster if the parents try. And I've seen it. I've seen hearing parents that try to sign with their children and they do very well. So there's a synergy in that communication going back and forth. But if they don't start from young, yeah, then things can get easily lost. And that's what we're seeing today. The challenges. Interpreter miss, sorry. Oh, Troy. Oh, Troy, who won the Best Actor award. Yeah. I have to slow down my finger spelling, sorry. So also, what type of curriculums or ideas do you have for parents? So only a small percentage have experience with the education system. So, what can we do about leadership training? That's the original question. So, do you mind answering again? So, keep in mind that we have 15% of teachers that are deaf, just 15%. So, how can we make it more? mm, How can we increase those numbers in education? So, in the first place, they need to have the experience. That makes sense. You can't hire an engineer to work in a different field of education. You can't hire a mechanic to work in the school. It has to be someone who knows education. 'Cause right now, it's only 15%. No, 12. So it's only 12% in administration and 15% educators. So that seems impossible. It fires me up right now. We don't want to name the schools that are doing this, but it is a challenge that I've noticed. In schools that I've seen for the deaf and blind, it's not just there, it's also a big conflict in others. So we cherish the deaf, of course, but it is an issue in a lot of deaf schools. And it's also an issue with the deaf blind community because they're a lot more behind, more delays. So that's a question that we have to ask ourselves. So how to catch up. So in the future if it was perfect, how would I So what do you think should happen in a perfect world? Sorry, I see there's a paragraph saying that you need prep material for the interpreters. I see it. It's hard, I know. It's like, yeah, we got these interpreters last minute. It's impromptu. There's not much preparation. It's difficult. Okay, so in the Black community, there's a lot of resilience, many years of spiritual resilience, of growing up in the Black community. So I'm sorry. Yeah. So we have a dream of furthering and continuing. and continuing ourselves. So thank you. Thank you for coming, Lauren. Thank you. So, okay. So now we're open for questions, comments.
Got it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So this is a big problem. Interpreter missed the law PL with the numbers. Sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. 94142. So PL, the law PL, yeah, that law that was passed in the 1970s. The reason for that, it was to empower parents. So that they know the proper placement for the kids. Let me see how I can explain that. Yeah. So they moved it within a neighborhood, right? And the school is right there, and I want my kid to go to that school. They have the power to be able to send, their children to the local school. Yeah, but then there was a big problem, of course. For example, here in South Carolina, there's a school for the deaf that's about an hour, hour and a half away, an hour and 20 minutes away from here, north of here. And parents who live in this area who have deaf children, here it is, they have their children commuting, um, back and forth is distance, but they prefer to stay in this area. So what do? They have, they because of that law they that was passed, it allows them to have the option of having their child mainstream. Yeah. Instead of having to move closer to a school for the deaf. In Texas, they're very lucky because there's, yeah, depending on where the school for the deaf is, some could be very, very far away, but which presents itself as a challenge. So, sometimes if parents are willing for their children to live in a dorm setting, so really, with that question that you had, there's really no good black or white answer for that because it's a challenge. Yeah. This is more about what do we do for deaf education, for quality deaf education, for getting teachers, or helping students pass the tests, go through the system. Wait, so here's the next question. How do all deaf teachers pass tests? What do we need to improve in ESE department and interpreters at mainstream schools? How do we change that? Hmm. We need to, yeah, this alternative testing that's constantly waived, just, yeah, they need to work on that too. Wait, let me just, sorry. Hmm. Okay. So instead of taking these state tests, they should be some type of alternative testing. The state required tests should should be waived so that they allowed more access for deaf teachers to be able to be part of deaf education. And anything else? Anything else? Oh, let me see the question again. Yeah, improve ESE department. What is ESE department? Explain that to me. And interpreters at mainstream school. This is very important. Yeah, this is very important. because as interpreters, yeah, they become the language models. So yeah, and really, I have my butts about this. Yeah, yeah, because we see it often where when we have this mainstream education, then it endangers deaf schools eventually closing down, right? So, okay. She read the question. Okay, so here's the next question. Okay, so how do we reach out to the parents? How is the outreach program going since 2001? Um, okay, so I'm thinking about setting up a campaign. Now we've set up the GoFundMe. We have about $1,000 we've raised so far. And these are like just some of the things that we need where we just really need to come together and really be on the news to spotlight these issues. They need to come into media spotlight. People need to know that this is going on. We need to come together and set something up so that it brings attention. So we're bringing attention to this. We're trying to raise money, figure out what to do, what the next step is, and really see how we can network within each of the states so that we can, it's a goal to really impact nationwide and do something about this collectively together. Yeah. So this is the goal that we have. So I hope I answered that other question. So here, and I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure. Interpreter's not sure what if this is interpreter. Yeah. Let me just. Oh, deaf grass movement. Okay. Deaf grass movement. Hmm. Movement. Got it. Okay. Look like we forgot about the grassroots. Where are they or their current activities? Uh, okay. Yes. So two things. Donate to our GoFundMe. And then as we move forward, we are going to figure out what to do, what we're doing, what we're going to do, and be involved. Yeah, yeah, be involved. Come and join us at this webinar next week. Come and listen to what's happening, what's been happening, our history, and where we're at presently, so that we can figure out what moves to make. Yeah, and put what moves to make next to push this forward. Yeah, I miss that. Yeah, yeah. We still have a lot to do. Yeah, we're not done. So we have to do something. We have to do something about this. Yeah, we've already developed a plan for next week's Saturday's webinar, and we encourage you to reach out to others. There's going to be a Zoom capacity of about 1,000 people. Here's another question. Schools for the deaf may be set up regional cluster schools in cooperation with mainstream schools, so the travel not so far. Mm. Yes, yeah. Someone did bring that up. Yeah, where the staff um, froze. Yeah. The Yeah, it froze on my end. Hold on. Yeah. Um, yeah, sorry. Interpreter missed that. Yeah, missed some of the after it froze. Yeah. So I missed it. Yeah. 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 So presently, we're in contact with senators that we're trying to get support and help for our deaf grassroots movement. Every day, I'm getting emails and texts and messages. We want to set up a website. We're getting Facebook. We've set up the Facebook. We want to try and see if we can do the 501 C4 and yeah, and then what our goal is to what we really need is a representative from each state. So volunteers sign up to help us out so that we can get this together. Once we have a rep from each state, then we can network and work together with each one of the states. Sorry, I'm gonna have my coffee. Give me one second. And give the interpreters a little break. So yes, we this is a crisis. This is a serious matter. Dr. Sims confirmed that, and there's a lot of trauma involved with this. We want to walk away with really doing what we can to help deaf education. um Deaf ed is racist and autist, as they said in the chat. How can I follow up for next week's webinar time when? So it's at November 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The flyer already went out. Yeah, we sent that out. There's a Zoom link. You must register. And with what? What's that? I'm gonna ask her. Oh, QR code. QR code. Oh, there's also a QR code. So you want to make sure you answer the questions. We want to collect as much data as possible and information as possible. And you'll look at the flyer. Patrick will show it here. Here's the flyer. Yeah. Can we make it bigger? If we can, it's okay. Let's see. Do you have any more questions, comments? I also wanted to mention what someone says about the deaf ed is racist and autist. Um, yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just say, see a question. Is the average grade level for reading still at fourth or fifth grade level? So let me just, yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit about, as a Puerto Rican, um, in my experience, my children who are biracial, yeah, yeah. One of the things we'll talk about in next week's webinar, yeah, is just the different, of course, there's different issues that come up, white dominance that I've experienced growing up. Yeah, I am a light skin Latina, but still, there's And my legal name, yeah, is Garcia Gunderson, and yeah, there's still some issues that I've always had to face. So I do have to agree that we do have to fix that, and that's something we have to talk about. And the issues, it's intersectionality. S- I think that's how you spell, yeah, intersectionality. Hmm. Intersection. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we have all it's all intertwined. We have all these issues, yeah, that like, not only like we have the BLM movement, and it's all it's something that we all face, and it's not just one issue. So we have to, yeah, there's an article that I didn't catch it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. That talks about the intersectionality and capitalists, you said, with in deaf education. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's, yeah, sorry, because I know it's, yeah, the interpreters are struggling, but it's, yeah, fourth or fifth grade level, that question, the story is, sadly, it's all different levels. We can't say it's one size fits all. No, not at all. Yeah, yeah, it's, from very young deaf child to, an old, it's the levels, it's hard to give one answer for that, because it's not for yeah, keep going. It's not, yeah, if we say it's all fourth, fifth grade, yeah, reading level, and then some have a very high reading level, then yeah, where how do we make those determinations? It's probably what is the percentage? Language deprivation is the big thing, and then now how do we work at making this, where deaf, kids, deaf children can catch up? That's really where, it makes sense. Did I answer that question? We only have 2 more minutes. 2 minutes, 1 minute. Any more questions? Mm, so remember, now is the best time. Yeah, now it's the best time. That's why we're doing this now. Yeah, we don't want to leave any child behind. This is we want to take the appropriate steps to get this moving, to get this movement. So we're gonna have this Friday coffee messages, and yeah, just we have to do something about this. Yeah, this is very close, dear to my heart, and we don't want to lose our deaf children in the future. Deaf schools are struggling too, and we welcome you to continue to join us to have this discussion. We want to spotlight you. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear your experiences. We want to write them down, and the webinar will also be an opportunity to share a little more, but there's just not enough time because we have so much to share. Yeah, it's imperative, and now it's a time that we make these changes. Say it again. Mhm. Yeah, and you can all be part of this change. This is a time for change. Yeah, I know many parents are struggling with their children, and they're thinking about this matter, especially when it talks about the issues of language deprivation. It affects everyone, and how it impacts mental health, and it's not just one person. It's so many. So we look forward to seeing you there next week. Please register for this webinar next Saturday, and we'll see you there. It's a very important webinar, because we want to start develop these changes to transform deaf education. Yeah. Yeah, I have a behind the scenes team that's texting me. So bye bye.